Good morning. Welcome to another Monday Mindset. We'll get started here. It is already December. It's hard to believe. 29 days left in the year, closing out 2024. Are you ready for 2025? I want to talk a little bit today about the number one separator that I have seen in successful people that we've interviewed on our podcast. So we're up to almost, 600 or so episodes at this point, and it's been pretty wild over the years of doing this. It's almost been 7 years or something like that of sitting down. And I was thinking about it the other day. For 7 years I have sat down for a couple hours a week and taken time to interview successful entrepreneurs, salespeople, business leaders across a multitude of different industries. Most of the industries were real estate, insurance, financial advising, but we've had entrepreneurs in so many different industries come on the show, just from connections, some big names, some small names, but the common trait was they all had success in one avenue of what they were doing, if not a multitude of avenues of what they were doing. And, as I've reflected, as I often do now coming to the end of the year, I don't know about you guys, I like to take time to reflect, especially over Thanksgiving. By the way, hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. I'm reflecting of the things I'm grateful for, reflecting on the things that are working in the business, the things that I want to change for 2025. We're almost completely done with our planning and our budgeting, still trying to get some of that totally nailed down. Because things change in the last month, as most of you know, in business. But I was thinking about, the show and going, man, I've been blessed to, for the last 7 years, be able to sit down for a couple hours a week and really look at what is working for people in their business, specifically from the angle of motivation and entrepreneurship and sales and marketing, all those different things. And one key trait that I have found of a ton of successful people across industry is their ability to manage their calendar, their ability to time block their calendar. And if I look at a lot of entrepreneurs and salespeople that fail and ones that are not achieving their goal, I find that they don't have intentionality of how they manage their schedule. They tend to wake up and they tend to know the big picture of what they're trying to do, the big goal they're trying to achieve. I need to get X number of sales by the end of the month, but they haven't broken it down to their daily activity. And then there's some that have broken it down to their daily activity, but they don't take it to the extra step, which is actually time blocking out their whole calendar for the day so they know exactly where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, and what they're supposed to be doing when they get there. And I have found that a lot of these successful people, they have these kind of policies where they don't respond to any incoming emails or phone calls till 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. They have dedicated the first couple hours of the day to be prospecting hours for their business. And they do what's called eat the frog, right? If you've ever read that book, it's doing the hardest thing in the morning when you have the most focus, the most energy, the most motivation. So they focus on those type of things and they honor their calendar. They keep that commitment. And there's power in consistency. I wrote down a quote for myself this morning, which was, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, but what you do consistently. And that really boils down to the habits that you set. And habits are formed based upon your schedule and what you commit to. And so my encouragement to you on December 2nd here at 10:05 on Monday for this Monday Mindset is going, look, there's 29 days left in the year. Have you managed your calendar well this year? And if you haven't, why not make that one of your New Year's resolutions going into 2025? Because I guarantee you, if you start managing your calendar, start time blocking what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, the task that you're going to do, and then focus on the highest revenue generating activities in the morning, because it's when you have the most motivation and energy, you will have a ton of success if you do that. I was on a call, 2 weeks ago, doing a webinar for marketing for a bunch of real estate agents, talking about a 2025 marketing plan. And after this webinar, I got onto this, what's called office hours, because I'm a contributor on BAM, which is a media company within the real estate community. And I'm talking, there's probably 50 or so real estate agents on this call. and they're asking us questions, and they're sharing what their strategic plans are for 2025, and they are picking our brain, and we're giving them our advice and thoughts on me and a couple other people. And I kept thinking to myself, going, man, it's amazing. I have all these strategies of what you could do in marketing and what you should be doing. But it really comes down to, first and foremost, how are you spending your time? Because I was hearing a lot of these people and going, man, you have a lot of great ideas and you're even executing on a lot of ideas, but you're missing one of the most important things, which is the consistency in how you actually function in your day-to-day activity, because those laying of the cinder blocks, as I call it, that's what truly generates the success. And if you can actually mark down in your calendar, and I read for them an example of an agent that I'm coaching. I actually have a coaching call today with him, this guy named Noah. And we really have started to transform his business, not because we put together a super sophisticated marketing strategy or because we're designing up the greatest Instagram reels and stuff to do. No, we've transformed his business because we've transformed his daily activity. He has to text in every single day the amount of calls he's going to make that day, the amount of appointments he's going to set that day. Then he has to text in what he actually did at the end of the day, that daily accountability of those activities that he commits to. And then he has to schedule out his whole calendar. I'll get on a call with him later today and I'll test him. Hopefully he's not watching this. I don't think so, because he's in real estate, so he's not in this insurance syndicate. But I'll test him and say, hey, what do you have going on at 2 o'clock? What do you have going on at 4:30? Because I want to see that he has it marked in his calendar so he knows where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, and what he's supposed to be doing. Think about that freedom that gives to you to be in flow, as they call it. See, so many problems for us as business owners is we get out of flow. We start doing one thing and then we get distracted with another thing. And then if you can't really multitask. Even if you think you can, you really can't multitask. You're just focusing on one thing for a short period and moving immediately to the next thing. And it is very hard to get mastery in something like that. And it's very hard to get into flow. And so I encourage people, man, it starts with your calendar management. What you put on your calendar needs to be the ruler of your day. It needs to be what you're committed to. And if you think about it that way, then you'll think about your calendar differently. And you'll start putting on your calendar the things that you know you need to do, because you have to do these things, and you'll start getting off your calendar the things that aren't needed. So that is my Monday mindset rant for you today, is going, hey, if you want to win in 2025, if you want to take away from me 7 years of sitting down with successful entrepreneurs for an hour to 2 hours a week for 7 years, what I've learned is these people, they tend to manage their calendar well. They tend to be very active, and they commit to things in their calendar, and they keep that. That is one of the key traits that I've seen come out of interviewing this many people. It's not that they're necessarily the brightest people. It's that they're the ones that actually take action, and they take action by committing to things, and they do the things they commit to. So I challenge you, if you don't honor your calendar, if you don't live off of a calendar, maybe consider that as one of your New Year's resolutions, that I'm going to start scheduling my day and my week, my month on my calendar. I'm going to commit to it. Even take it to your personal life, the time you're in the gym, the time you want to do date nights. Go even there if you need to go there, to where it's like your whole life is scheduled out so you can be more effective. The reason to be more process-oriented, the reason to be more scheduled, is so you can be more effective, so you can have more freedom in your life. Because the more effective you are, the more time will open up in your day to spend on the things that you want to spend on. So, remember the quote that I read to you? I'll read it again as I close out here on this Monday. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, but what you do consistently. So start being intentional about your calendar. Let's get out there and win for us, for our friends, for our family. Let's make it happen as we close out. 29 days left. Don't give up now. It's separation season, as Ed Milet says. So many people pull back between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Don't be that person. Set up your first quarter. What you do in the next 29 days will have dramatic effect on how you open up the first quarter of next year, which will have dramatic effect on your whole income for the rest of the year, because it will give you momentum. Don't dig yourself, or don't dig a hole and have to climb out of the hole in Q1. Be already running with momentum. Make it happen. 29 days left. Appreciate you guys.